If there'd have been probably more in the crowd and bigger crowd, they'd be probably in for a bit of stick, bit of heckling, that kind of stuff. But it hasn't started yet.
Can't remember whether he got any in the league game here, because they only played each other in the league just before Christmas. Yeah. And I can't remember whether they recognised that he was such a short spell at United that I don't know if they remembered that he'd played there. But that was a game, Mark, that Wednesday absolutely chucked away. They dominated it for 70 minutes. I can remember Alan Biggs was sat next to me in the press box here, and we turned to each other and we went, if they're not careful, they'll blow this.
Yeah.
And 4 seconds later, Cardiff scored. We looked up and they scored. So we'll see what this game's like. Wednesday fans who are here have found their voice. Danny Rill's got the big coat on again, and he stood out on the edge of his technical area. And his key message in the press conference was that he wants to try and keep the momentum going. They've won 2 games in a row. I
think it's important that you keep that momentum going. You're getting yourself in a bit of a decent run at the moment, working a lot harder, and I think it's important that you just keep them certain standards going, working hard, getting another result here. You know, obviously you win games, you get confidence, and it breeds confidence.
And if Sheffield Wednesday win, Mark, you never know. Maybe it'll be Wednesday versus United in the next round.
Yeah, you never know.
And Sunderland versus Newcastle earlier today, which was a bit of a damp squib in fairness.
But 3-0, wasn't it?
Yeah. Newcastle never got out of second gear. Never even got out of first. But
and you wouldn't have seen that, would you? Because Newcastle have been struggling and Sunderland have been doing all right.
You'd have thought that Sunderland would have had a real go in that game, but they didn't. Newcastle just controlled it. Here's Gassama, who scored a lovely goal against Hull last weekend. Here's Palmer. Windass, edge of the box. He's going to shoot!
Whoa.
He's done it again! It's just like the goal last weekend. Fired into the bottom corner. It's a wonderful shot from Josh Windass. And Wednesday have an early lead. He looked up, he was given space. It's superb. Take a bow, Josh Windass. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 0.
Yeah, it was a good little link-up, little combination play. I think starts from the middle of the pitch with Liam Palmer, plays one round the corner, gets it back, and he goes straight into Windass, and all he's got one thing on his mind is there just to hit the target, and he does. Good strike, goalkeeper left floundering, but it's what a fantastic start, and it's important like now that you can build on it.
Well, he really picked out the bottom corner there, did Josh Windass, and what a start for the Owls.
Sponsored by Nets, number 11, Josh Windass.
Well, 2 minutes are on the clock, and I would suggest Mark Smith that one was scored probably before the timer had even been put up on the board.
Exactly. I'm trying to find out now. Well, it's 2 minutes now, so probably about a minute like they scored.
Minute and 5 or something like that. So the perfect start for Sheffield Wednesday. Cardiff looking for an immediate attack. That's going to be a penalty. It is. Cardiff have got a penalty after 2.5 minutes. What a start to this game. Well, Mark, we've been talking about the magic of the FA Cup. We're on for a 10-all draw here.
Too right. And again, it was a penalty. I mean, the guy, I can't see from here who it was, but he's carried it a long way there. He's picked it up in like a left back position and got right into the opposition Sheffield Wednesday's box before I think somebody's just clumsily caught the back of his leg and he's gone down. So obviously if they score this, you know, we're back to all square again and we're starting.
So the penalty to be taken by Cardiff in front of an empty Kop. After 3 minutes, Cam Dawson jogging up and down on his line. Can't see who the taker is because he's got his front facing us at the minute. But it is going to be Cam Dawson to try and keep him out. Cardiff City looking for an immediate response after going behind to Josh Windass's goal. Here's the penalty for Cardiff, and Cam Dawson has saved it. Cam Dawson saves it. He dives to his right, palmed it up into the air, and as he was sat down in the 6-yard box, Mark Smith, he calmly just plucked it out of the air on the rebound, and Cam Dawson has saved another penalty.
Yeah, it was Ryan Wintle who's the captain who took it. Dawson going to his right, good strong arm, flips it up in the air, and it drops straight into his mitts again. So, obviously, interesting start, let's put it that way.
This is the best start I think Sheffield Wednesday have ever had to a game, Mark. They've saved a penalty and scored a goal in 2 minutes. Remarkable.
Well, that should get the crowd going a little bit. Obviously, the small crowd that's here.
You know what's going to happen now? Nothing's going to happen for the next 86 minutes.
Well, it could be like
4 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, at least it won't mean a replay if that's the case. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Jack Annick. I'm rooting against the replay purely from a selfish point of view as well, for not just for myself but for Andy and Adam. Because one of us will have to make that trip to Cardiff on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night.
Yeah. And you'll probably ask me to go and do it.
Are you free in 10 days' time, Mark? Well,
I've done Plymouth and I've done Norwich in midweek, so.
Well, it's 1-0. It's 1-0, not 1-1, thanks to Cam Dawson's penalty save. Ball over on this near side here for Josh Bowler. Bowler will clip this one back into the defence, and it's going to be with Perry and G. He moves it over towards the left-hand side. I always think Perry and G sounds more like a DJ's name than a footballer's.
Yeah,
backwards here.
It's just NG, isn't it?
NG.
I would think about which other way you'd call it, but you'd just call it NG.
Here's Robinson, slips it through, and that's a great tackle on the near side there by the covering defender to get the tackle in. It was Paul Valentin who got across, kicked it out of play. Had a first opportunity to chat to Paul Valentin on Thursday morning and was warned that his English is not great, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And he was brilliant to chat to, really engaging character, and he was thoroughly enjoying himself, so good to have a chat with him. Corner over on that left hand side. It's going to be taken right footed, curled into the box, flicked on, it's bouncing around, it's dangerous. Shot driven in by Bowler is blocked to the edge of the area. Now a chance for Cardiff to get it back in there. It's retained by Sawyers, played nicely into the area. Here's Ateti, he's going to be brought down. It's another penalty. Ateti goes down, and it's a second Cardiff City penalty in the first 6 minutes. So we've had a goal and 2 penalties in the first 6 here. Again,
I think it was a definite penalty. It was a good little play. Like, it was a corner from Cardiff, and they recycled the ball outside the area. Great little pass from I think it's the left. I forget who it was. Like left-footed, slips it in straight away. A little combination. Number 9 takes it out on his feet. Little contact, bang, down he goes, penalty.
Well, Ryan Wintle has been binned off the penalty taking duty. The former Sheffield United striker Callum Robinson will take it instead. So Cam Dawson has saved one spot kick. Can he keep out ex-Blade Robinson here in front of the Kop? Dawson stands on his line. It's Robinson to step forward. It's another save! Cam Dawson has saved 2 penalties, Mark Smith. It's incredible!
Just looking at their manager, he just cannot believe it. It's not the best penalty, is it?
Oh, well.
Going slightly against the grain, obviously going to the keeper's left with a right footer. It's unless you get it spot on and it's straight, it's curling back towards the middle of the goal if I hit that one.
Ball down the middle, Wednesday looking for a second goal now, but the ref's there again, and he's given a free kick to Cardiff, and Josh Windass immediately runs over to Thomas Kirk to have a word with him. Well, what an incredible start to the match. I don't think I've ever seen a game like this, Mark, where you a goal and 2 penalties and then both penalties saved. It is a great game, football, and it always keeps you guessing.
I'm pleased for Cam Dawson, because he gets a bit of a hard ride, like sometimes with the Wednesday fans, but obviously now he should be full of confidence there, saving 2 penalties within 8 minutes of a start of a game. Fantastic.
Well, it makes you wonder why he gets as much grief as he does. And look, some people will just say it's nothing really that personal. It's simply that they don't think that he is good enough to start in the Championship, and I suppose those people, Mark, are well within their rights to have that opinion if that's what they believe. What I don't understand is there's been other games this year where he hasn't even been to blame, and people have been said in between. Here's Windass with another chance, parried away by the goalkeeper. Ricochets to the edge of the area. Cardiff will try and get it away with Bolo, stumbles on the ball, won back by Famewo. He's going to curl it, and it's a lovely ball in towards Fletcher, appeals for a handball, but it comes off the defender, and rather than any penalty shout, it's going to be a corner on the left mark.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really good start by both teams, to be fair. But Sheffield Wednesday there, and for me, he gets onto the ball, he wins the ball back, puts a great ball in that second 6-yard box, in behind the defenders. But I think it was NG who actually dealt with it quite well in the end.
Corner taken short by the Owls. It's going to be crossed in here by Windass, who belts that one out of play for a goal kick. There's just a bit too much venom on that cross there from Windass, Mark.
Yeah.
And it remains 1-0 after an eventful 10 minutes.
Yeah, there was too much pace on that. As soon as it left his foot, you could see it was over it and going out of play. But as I say, it'd be nice just to catch your breath a little bit like now and just calm down and see what we're going to do for the next 10 minutes.
Well, I must admit, I'm intrigued what this game's got in store for us next. Red card, maybe?
I'm not quite sure. Probably referee had missed that one.
Well, we've had a bit of everything so far. Fine Josh Windass goal, followed by 2 penalties, both saved by Cam Dawson from 2 different takers for Cardiff. 1-0 on BBC Radio Sheffield in the FA Cup. Ball chipped forward as Fletcher's going to loop that one into the air. Kick backwards here. Fletcher will chase. Fletcher goes all the way back to Jack Anik to put a bit of pressure on, but Anik will play it in short, and nicely played forward here to Romain Sawyers for Cardiff, and touched off over on that far side by Runham Hota into the middle, collected by Cardiff again as they're just sort of knocking it around, and the passing's been pretty good so far as Colwell gets on the ball here. Then he checks, then continues his run, finds Ateti who won the second penalty. Good tackle comes in from Famewo to win it back, played through up towards Windass. Windass's ball was perhaps a little too ambitious to slip it through those crowd of Cardiff defenders and find Musaba. It's picked up instead by Cardiff City, and they will have it again in through Sawyers in the centre circle. He finds Robinson will move this one nicely over towards Josh Bowler on the right hand side with the gloves on, runs forward, he split the 2 defenders. It's a great run from Bowler, but having done the hard bit to get into position, he selfishly shoots that left footed and drags it into the side netting, marks.
Yeah, he did really well there, and I've seen Josh Bowler play a few times. Obviously he was always highly rated at Blackpool, I think he was, but there he skipped in between Famewo and the nearest centre back, I think Diaby, something like that, and you think he's going to open his body out. He's gone on the right hand side, and you think he's going to open his out and go for the far corner, but he didn't. He dragged his shot slightly. Again, another opportunity.
Ball over on the left here with Gassama. Gassama just checks his run, holds on to it here. Now Famewo. Famewo's going to belt this one over it. Again, just a bit too ambitious from Sheffield Wednesday, who, I'd say, Mark, haven't really found their rhythm in this game, despite everything that's been going on. Cardiff have been a lot more controlled in possession, and Wednesday have been a bit scatty at times. Yeah,
to be fair, I mean, conceding a goal after a minute, you'd have thought it would have been all over the place, but like the 2 at the moment, it looks like that Cardiff showing a little bit more composure in possession. Whereas Wednesday, struggling a little bit just to keep the ball.
Nice little turn here from Gassama, but block tackle comes in from the Cardiff man. Josh Windass will throw this one in. Another quick reminder that you can hear us online. I'm going to keep mentioning this because it's a nice rarity for us to be able to broadcast a commentary online via the BBC Radio Sheffield website, as Wednesday win a free kick for a foul by Xavier Benjamin. That's a great name, Xavier Benjamin.
Yeah, nice little battle with Gassama, is it, and Benjamin. But again, he was definitely there. He was tugging on Gassama's shirt. But again, he should be full of confidence as well.
Here he
after
is,
playing so well like he did against Hull City.
Finds Windass, and then plays it back to Diaby. Now here's Paul Valentin. Plays a little 1-2 with Musaba. Liam Palmer had made a really good run over towards the right hand side. Indeed it was, but not spotted, so Wednesday go to the left instead. Gassama, Diaby, Momo Diaby that is, who's in the midfield. What a frame he's got. It's the stature
he's a
of
big
it.
lad, isn't he? Like, yeah.
It's like Carlton Palmer's back in midfield there.
Exactly.
Ball played forward here towards Gassama. Nice little turn from him. And is he fouled? He is, by Benjamin. So there'll be a free kick just inside the Cardiff City half on the left-hand side. We were talking to Marvin Johnson after the game last weekend, and I said to Marvin Johnson, what did you make of the celebration then, Marvin, the Ronaldo celebration? And he said, well, we'll give him a bit of stick for that for the next 3 or 4 days. He's got to do a better job next time. So we'll see if he gets a goal tonight and if he's got something different for us. As the cross comes in here from Wednesday from the right-hand side, it's blocked by Cardiff. They may have a chance to counter-attack here with Colwell through to Robinson. Robinson turns his man and holds on to it. Good little poke tackle comes in from Fletcher, but the ref sees a foul on Robinson in the end. And it means it's Cardiff's ball into midfield here for Sawyers. He will play it back into the defence. Now here's Benjamin. Benjamin back into the midfield once more. Collected by Wintle, the captain, who missed the... Well, didn't miss it. It was saved, the first penalty. Got the tap on the shoulder from Callum Robinson, who said, I'll have a go this time. His penalty was saved. Great tackle comes in from midfield there from Momo Diaby. Good pass to find Masaba. He tries to release Windass, but Wintle's there. Toe pokes it away over towards the right-hand side. Masaba's pass isn't a good one. Just looped it up into the air, but somehow Paul Valentin has still got there and retained the ball for the Owls. Here's Diaby. Puts his foot on the ball. Finds Liam Palmer, the captain. Moves it over towards the right-hand side. Barry Bannon getting a well-earned rest in this game. As Wednesday play it back into the defence. Hekwa, who, in my opinion, others may disagree, I think might well be Wednesday's best defender, and he's been playing ever so well in the last few games.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one, Rob. He's like a tigerish player. I like he likes the physicality of defending, and he's got better on the ball. Obviously, games I saw him last season, he might have had all the attributes going one way, but then when he was in possession, but here was another chance. Here we go.
Great play from Gassama on halfway to release Famewo on the left-hand side in space. Famewo's drilled cross finds Masaba, and he tried to play it square to Fletcher, and it was cut out. Perhaps could have been a bit more selfish there, Masaba, and just had a dig himself in a good position in the box. Tried to put it on a plate for Fletcher, and it was cut out. And now here come Cardiff at the other end through. Colwell's going to tow it towards goal, and Cam Dawson pounces on it there, Mark Smith, and it's a save. And
it's a good game. It's end to end. There's chances at both ends, kind of thing. And you know, obviously, it's a bit like basketball. It's like breaking down at one end, and then next minute it's already in the opposition's half and opposition's penalty area, that kind of stuff. Again, there was Baller driving at the fullback, cutting inside onto his favoured left foot, and that time poking a little pass for a midfield runner.
Dawson's kick over towards the right is headed out of play by a Cardiff man. So Owls ball on halfway. We've had 17 minutes of the game. Interesting that Piers Charles is on the bench rather than Devis Vasquez. I wonder what that means for Vasquez and whether he may... I mean, it just could be that it's the Cup, and that maybe if he goes somewhere else, other teams might want him to be eligible. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, Piers Charles is incredibly highly rated by his teammates. Very, very highly rated. That people think a lot of him. There's actually one or two people that I've spoken to, Mark, that think he could play outfield. He's that gifted.
Right. I haven't seen anything of him as regards. I haven't seen him in the youth team or 23s, that kind of thing. But he's always knocking about the first team picture. So you know, you've got to realise that people are highly rate him at Sheffield Wednesday, and as I say, he's not the biggest for the goalkeeper, but
Deshaun Bernard's just beaten 3 players here, and sadly his pass was just a little bit under hit towards Masaba, who moved over to this side. Now there's a ball through and a flag goes up against Keon Ateti. But wow, Deshaun Bernard did that against Hull. He had a great run against them as well, and the shot was straight to the goalkeeper in the end, but he was jinking in and out of tackles there and slaloming his way through defenders, and I think he fancies himself as a winger, Mark Smith.
Well, you're talking about centre halves bringing the ball through again. You got to make sure that you don't get labelled with that. Listen, he likes to break through, but he will give you a chance, because that was a situation there that he lost possession of the ball in the wrong area of the pitch, and then that can cause you problems.
Wednesday have given it away midfield here. Here's an opportunity for Colwell. Edge of the box will shoot, but his shot is dreadful. and it just scuffs along the ground and straight into the welcome hands of Cam Dawson, who bowls this one out quickly to Valentin. Now here come Wednesday again. It is end to end. It is entertaining. Great ball from Valentin. Picks out Fletcher. Fletcher's cross is going to loop onto the roof of the net off a defender behind for a corner. But that was smart play. Really good play from Dawson to see the run of Valentin. Good pass to find Fletcher, and he did the right thing there, Mark Smith. Get that in the box nice and early. There were 2 blue and white shirts in support, and well defended by Cardiff.
Yeah, I mean, it's resulted in a corner again, so you got another opportunity. But again, it's like the game is like 1 minute there's a chance at one end, next minute there's a chance at the other end. It's a good game to watch.
Corner from the right hand side as 1 or 2 of the Wednesday subs go for a warm up. Cross comes in, it's headed out of play, and who's that come off? No one has any clue. I think it might have come off Momo Diaby, and he kind of sheepishly looked and half-heartedly appealed, and the assistant looked at the ref, and they both went, oh, go on, have another corner.
I think the referee was looking for a bit of help there from his assistant referee, which he didn't get.
Corner from the right again, comes in, it's kicked to the edge of the box. Palmer urged to shoot, Palmer will shoot, and it's just wide. It may have been a little further away than it looked from our angle, because there wasn't that much of a reaction from the fans on the far side either, but yet we'll see the replay here on the big screen. That wasn't too far away from Liam Palmer. You could see what he was trying to do there, drill it in towards that top corner, put his foot through the valve. It swerved a little bit in the air. Mark Smith, it wasn't too far.
I'm looking at it, Liam, there. I thought he should have stepped into it straight away and hit it first time. He had a control, he stopped it, and then obviously tried to place, and then by that time I think the opportunity had gone.
How often as a player do you, in those kind of situations, Mark, I don't know how often you found yourself in that kind of a situation, you know, with a crowd going shoot on the edge of the box. How often are you sort of thinking, well, I could have hit this first time, but it might look a bit daft if I stick this in row Z, and if I control it. What's going through your mind as a player?
I think you can be thinking, right, okay, there's another foul there.
Foul in midfield, so Wednesday free kick in the centre circle.
I think you'd be too safe sometimes, thinking like, well, you know, obviously if I hit this straight away and I sky it and stuff like that, but I'll have a touch, but by that time you got people coming out, screaming out to try and block it, kind of thing. You stopped it, so that's actually another couple of seconds before you're going to get a shot away.
Windass with a really good ball over to the right hand side, finds Valentin, who's midway inside the Cardiff half. Played backwards here, 1-2 with Palmer and Windass. Palmer tries to lift this one over the top, but it was away from Fletcher, and it runs through to the goalkeeper Jack Anick. So if you're just joining us, you missed all of the craziness in the first 6 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday scored about 65-70 seconds into the game through Josh Windass. Really good effort from the edge of the box, pinged it into the bottom corner, and then almost immediately from the restart Cardiff got a penalty, which was saved. Ryan Wintle's penalty towards the right hand side of Cam Dawson's goal. He dove to the right, made the save, got the rebound, so it stayed 1-0, and then Cardiff got a second penalty 4 minutes later. This time Callum Robinson stepped up to take it. Cam Dawson went the other way this time and dove to his left-hand side, and again made the save. So 2 penalties saved by Dawson, 1 goal scored by Windass. Wednesday leading by a goal to 0 in the FA Cup. Ball slipped into midfield here for Ruben Colwill. Now over towards Bowler. Bowler kicks this one backwards. For the first time in this game, there's a team just knocking it around in their own half, trying to have a bit of the ball here. Because other than that, it's been hell for leather. 22 of the better minutes I've seen this season, and Mark, I guess you've got along with that. It's been pretty entertaining, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing quite well, Cardiff. I mean, pass it about and play it from back to front and play through the lines. Interesting, like, positions that Colville's taking up and stuff, and people like that. Quite impressed with the left back, Ollie Tanner, I think they call him, 32 up to now. He's quite tenacious in the in challenging, but he's got a good left foot and he can join in, like, so, you know, they've got some decent players. This is interesting. Centre half now, go on taking a corner.
Colwell ran a long way there. Wednesday eventually went over to make a tackle and just toe poked it behind for a corner. And Wintle, who took the penalty, the first one, is going to take the corner, and his corner was as good as the penalty, Mark Smith. It
Yes.
Didn't beat the first man.
I'm thinking I don't know.
What photos has he got of the manager to be taking the set pieces and the penalties?
He's got to be, and captain, to be fair. But you're thinking, well, you really want me centre back to run and take a corner, but not be very good at it.
I was going to suggest that maybe he's just really hard, and no one dares say no. You're not doing it.
Here we go again.
Colwell
There's a pull back.
He was almost pulled back in the area. It was almost the third penalty. Toe poked away from Robinson. Robinson's done well to win it back off Masaba. A few groans there from the Wednesday fans. They felt he could have been a bit stronger in the challenge. Ball whipped over towards Bowler again. Cardiff have looked dangerous in these areas. Bowler puts his foot on the ball, goes backwards now, and Benjamin wanted an age to take that, and he's crossed it in, and he's really lucky that the ball has spun behind for another corner, and it looks like Ryan Winthill's going to take it again. I was going to say maybe he's just really hard and no one dare say no to him, Mark. But he looks like Hugh Grant. He's got a mop of brown hair. He looks like a traditional English fop. He's just
he keeps pointing at his captain's armband as though I'm captain. I'll take this.
Okay, well, he's taken it. He's taken it short this time, probably for the best. Robinson will get the cross in. There's another Cardiff man's gone down. They appeal for a third penalty. They're not going to get it. Now there's another man gone down, and that could easily have been a penalty. So the ref says, get up.
The second one, look, there's a breakaway.
Wednesday look to a counter-attack as they clear. We'll come back to that in a minute, but well played by Gassama over towards Liam Palmer. He struggles to get it out of his feet, and the momentum stalled a little bit as he found Masaba, who, in a tired looking way, he kind of just kicked it against the defender, and it's cleared all the way back to Ihekwa, and everybody regroups. So well, for me, Mark, that looked like a third pen.
There was two like little instances there where Itete, I think they call him, the first one I'm thinking he's looking for it. The second one looked more like that's a foul, but he got away with that one.
Here's Diaby, goes backwards to Deshaun Bernard. I just wonder whether the ref's arm needs a rest, Marcus. I've pointed to that spot twice already.
Yeah.
I think he was... you would only be human nature to think, well, I've already given two. Can I give a third? They're going to have to be really sure.
It's a 4-on-4 again now.
Here's Robinson breaking. Robinson's going to shoot from distance, but he's just going to pull that one well wide. Cam Dawson's not happy with the defence, that they are allowing people to run through, and there is a big green patch of space in front of that back four at the moment.
There is a lot of space all over the pitch. Both sets of back four are really playing deep, so that then allows plenty of spaces to be played to open up in front of them. At the moment, I'll be honest, I think Cardiff are using that space better without having that finish.
There's a foul here in midfield by Sawyers, and the Wednesday man has stayed down. It's Windass, and the card is coming out, so the referee is going to show the game's first yellow card here. The Cardiff players are all crowding around the referee. One of them's just touched him, and he's going to get booked now. So Xavier Benjamin gets booked. Physio's going to have to come on. Well, he's only just come back into the team, Josh Windass, and he's on the floor at the minute with his hand covering his face and seems to be in a lot of pain there. So he starts the last two games, scores in both. Danny Reel will not want him to then get injured again, Mark Smith.
What was the original injury, Rob?
It was never really cleared up what the issue was.
Because he's got a whack from behind. Then obviously this is a contact, I think, injury. So whether he's gone through, caught him on the Achilles or ankle, but I think it was Sawyers who went through the back of him.
It's club policy. They don't really talk about injuries in any detail, which is understandable in the modern game. And it's not like rugby where you have to name the team 3 days before the match or whatever. So they kind of keep that all that information in-house. Windass is back on his feet now, though, so I wonder if it was just one of those where kicked to the bone or something, and it's, and we've all been there, we've all stubbed a toe, we've all banged your knee on a desk, and it's incredibly painful for a bit, and then you recover after that. Xavier Benjamin has gone and touched him on the shoulder, and Windass comes off, has a chat with Danny Reel, but looks to me as if he's going to come on. But this is what we're talking about with the FA Cup here, Mark. When it gets to sort of 60-65 minutes, do you give him the shepherd's crook and just say, come on, we don't want to lose you for any time here, we need you for the league games.
Is it just the Premier League what are going into this winter break for 2 weeks?
Yeah, the Premier League get a nice break.
Yeah.
Sheffield United have not got a game next weekend. Sheffield Wednesday have got the small matter of a trip to Southampton, Danny Röhl's old club. Here's Fletcher. Pretty sure that Windass will want to play in that game next week. It looks as if he's okay to continue, because I think he is close to Russell Martin. So,
all right.
I think they've known each other from, is it the Rangers days? When they knew each other. So,
right.
He'll want to play in that one. Well, you know, it's one of the more interesting games, isn't it, really?
Exactly right, yeah.
And I would imagine there's a decent chance Southampton will be having their own Premier League break this time next year, because they look set to go straight back up.
And they do like to keep holding the ball, don't they?
To the point of tedium sometimes.
Yeah.
Here's Firmino. Firmino knocks it down the line. It's not a great ball though. That's a lot of Gassama, who's kept it in with a back heel, and then Cardiff nonchalantly just passed that out from through their own penalty area, finds a man and
they're out again.
Moved over towards the right, and they've broken the press very well, Cardiff. They just haven't taken the chances when they've got into good areas or when they've been stood on the penalty spot looking to score with the easiest of chances in football. This one's kicked out of play over on that far side for a Cardiff throw, and it will be Perry and G who will take it. As I mentioned, the names in this Cardiff team: Perry and G, Xavier Benjamin. There's a great one on the bench today, Malachi Fagan Walcott. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in some old 18th century novel or something there. Malachi Fagan Walcott. Ball knocked around the back. Wonder if we'll see him in the second half, as this one's moved inside. Renomta will go backwards here, all the way to the keeper. Taken short to Ryan Wintle, who's given in, almost gave it away, but somehow it's actually squeezed its way through to Colwill, with Gassama lurking, still deep inside their own half here. Cardiff, Wednesday are pushing them back, but this is when they've been able to break the press, and Bowler did well to get it up towards the number 9 Ateti again, but good defending. I think that was Hekwa who got in there and dispossessed. The long kick forward from Dawson is just going to be chested down by Ng in towards Jack Anik, and believe it or not, we've had 10 minutes, Mark, where not a lot's happened in this game. 31 on the clock.
It couldn't keep going, could it?
It couldn't, sadly. When that second penalty went in, I thought we were going to get game of the year. But it is 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Up towards Fletcher. Fletcher can't control, but it's ricocheted out towards Masaba. Masaba takes it on and has to check back. He's been pushed backwards here. He has to go all the way back to Hekwa. Hekwa's pass, not the best, as it's kicked into the air by Benjamin, and the flag has gone up for an offside. I'm not sure who against. Presumably it's Gassama retreating from an offside position. I think Masaba's just lacking a bit of confidence, Mark. He'd been on a great little run, and he obviously scored against QPR, and that was a huge goal. But in the games since, he just, I don't know, he's just gone off the boil a little bit. He's not looked
what I would be saying to it about him ever since I've seen is that he promises a lot, but delivers not as much. You know, again, and I'm talking about his powerful running with the ball and getting into final thirds, and then from there having to then pick out that pass, cross, shot, whatever it is. That's the thing that he lets him down, because up to that point he's strong, he's powerful. Once he gets on a run, he'll take some stopping, but again, it's just a decision making where he just needs to improve on that. That's not the best pass.
Terrible pass from Hekwa to Cam Dawson, who has to kick that in the air on the edge of his penalty area under pressure, and he did well just to get it over towards this near side. Cardiff come again though, and Ateti on that same right hand side has gone down. What's he appealing for? He's got the free kick, and Ateti then was signalling to the officials, but I don't think he was aware that he'd been given the free kick. Now Ng moves it over towards the left. Tanner ball slipped inside now towards Renomta. That's a good ball. Here's Robinson. It's a good save from Cam Dawson, but the flag was up anyway.
Flag had gone up, but again, good little interplay, combination play. I think Sheffield Wednesday got to get a bit tighter in that final third, because again, like, you know, obviously you're going to be if you're thinking about just hanging on for that 1-0 result, you need to score another 2 or 3 goals to actually to kill this game off. Because it looks to me as though, you know, they're capable of springing defences, but again, are they capable of sticking a ball in the net? I'm not quite sure.
Terrible pass from Bernard, has just kicked it straight to Cardiff in midfield, and now the danger is on again. Here's Robinson, edge of the box, twists away from the challenge of Paul Valentin. Now Sawyers. Wednesday managed to push them back a little bit. Sawyers will have to go back to halfway. Finds Renom Hota. Sawyers again. Good pass in towards Robinson. Even better pass over towards that left-hand side, and here's an opportunity to cross in. It's a great chance. It's deflected, and somehow it stayed out. It's come off a defender and scraped past that left-hand post of Cam Dawson, but it's appalling defending, and Wednesday are very lucky there. Again,
they've carved us open. That time in a right back position, got an overload going into the box. To be fair, it's a little cut bite. Kid's got to score. To be fair, he's made a bit of a meal of it, but we've got away with just conceding a corner.
I just noticed Josh Windass was screaming at the dugout there, and he's shaking his head and he's looking and he's complaining at the manager, and he's pointing over at that right hand side, and they're going to blow the whistle to prevent this corner being taken. Is he saying that Masaba needs to get back, or they need to protect that side more? You know, what is he complaining about there, Mark?
I don't know, but he's throwing his hands about. He's not happy with something now. Again, you know, they seem to have broke in down the right hand side a few times.
Winsel's corner is cleared at the near post. Another poor corner from that captain who's taken everything today. Out of play over on that far side. But whatever is happening, you know, Windass was making himself heard very strongly there. And what Danny Real makes of that. Sometimes managers will like it when players sort of say, come on, we need to sort this out, but I don't know, he was protesting about something on that right hand side, that they're getting in too easy or something.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just a case of, look, does Masaba need to do a better job of getting back in there and covering that side? In fact, they've moved Gassama over there now with the idea of maybe he could do a better job on that side. Looks like they might have tweaked it, because Masaba's down here on the left now. He's just won it back here, and Bowler's gone down, and he's turned his ankle, but he is in a lot of pain, and he's rolling around. Ball over with Valentin on the right. Now Bowler's back on his feet. So well done the referee for not stopping play, because he's jogging now, Mark. This is modern
just
game.
Does your head in.
Oh my, it makes you want to just throw your phone at the pitch sometimes, doesn't it? Obviously don't do that because it's illegal, but
yeah,
you know, Bowler's gone down, he's rolling down. Anyone would have thought that his leg had come off, and then he gets back up when he's not got the free kick, and he's running around chasing after players again.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that's just the way the game is like now. I mean, you'll see the Premier League stuff and stuff, and they'll show you in slow motion after, and there's been minimal contact.
There's a run from Bernard.
He's got the ball back there.
In towards Windass. Windass into Diaby. Good play. Now Gassama spreads it over to Valentin. Oh, what a run by Valentin. This is Paul Valentin. Great save by the goalkeeper, Anik. Well, he can turn on the jets, can Valentin. He's got bags of pace, and he just ran by the defender there and burst past him.
It was a great first touch.
And then the shot was good as well, and the keeper made a good save.
Yeah.
Tips it over the bar, Mark, for a corner.
Yeah. But obviously that's his forte, the attacking side of his game. Defensively, positional wise, leaves a little bit to be desired.
Windass's corner, and it's gone in, and there's no foul on the keeper, and it's headed in, and I think it might be Michael Ihekwa who's headed that one in. Windass's cross caused havoc in the penalty area. Someone got a head on it. There was a crowd of bodies went up. The ball flew into the goal, and it's 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, good delivery from a corner from Josh Windass. Goalkeeper flapped a little bit, and Ihekwa, who's just stood in front of him, just jumps up, heads the ball into the net. Again, it's 2-0 like now. There's not that much celebration, I'll be honest. And I mean, obviously that fooled me a little bit, because I'm thinking, well, is that gone in or not? Because everybody's just walking back as though there's nothing happened. But there's been a goal scored, and obviously 2-0 up. you know, you'd look at probably Cardiff and thinking, well, listen, it's not a 2-0 game, not at this moment in time, because they've been more very, very much in the game. But it's 2-0, obviously, and from there it's difficult for them to come back.
Well, Cardiff are now being pressed on the edge of their own box. I want to see a replay of that. They've not put the replay on the screen, but 6 minutes to go. But everyone was kind of looking around. I don't think anybody really knew who'd got the final touch, whether it had come off a defender or who got that final touch. Cardiff have given it away, but then Liam Palmer gives it away back. Then Cardiff give it away again. Nobody wants the ball as Diaby steps in, plays in Gassama. He's attacking that left-hand side. Little shimmy from him. Gets to the left corner of the box. Gassama shoots. It's ricocheted. It almost fell to Fletcher. Cleared away to the edge of the area. Liam Palmer shoots!
Yes!
What a goal! Fantastic goal from Liam Palmer. Smashed in from the edge of the area. You don't stop those. And nobody is going to stop, it seems, Sheffield Wednesday reaching the 4th round of the FA Cup. They lead 3-0 before half-time. Liam Palmer runs over to the dugout and high-fives one of the staff. Everybody celebrates. It's a wonder goal from Liam Palmer. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0.
Yeah, the ball breaks out to him, really. Good first touch. Bounces it up, really clean volley. Fires it into the left-hand corner. Great finish.
What a goal. Wow.
Sorry, right-hand corner. Just looking at it again.
Oh, top players in the Premier League would be proud of a goal like that. Chesting it down, banging it into the bottom corner. What a hit that was, Mark. I mean, the Windass goal was terrific. The Hector one we've not seen a replay of, and nobody really knows what's happened there. But that's third one from Liam Palmer. There was no doubt on who scored that or what it was all about. It was just a terrific shot. So
you've got a goal in the first 60 seconds, then you've got a goal after probably 39 minutes, and another one after 40 minutes. So you've actually showed two really quick goals.
Well, if Danny Röhl was hoping to carry on momentum, I think in the first half they've certainly done that. Wednesday have not finished yet. They want more. Flicked on into the box, lovely football, cleared away as far as Diaby, who's going to shoot.
Yes.
Just curls wide. That was from fully 40 yards out, 45 yards. And everyone said shoot, and he thought, well, I've just seen Liam Palmer bang one in, why not have a go?
Yeah, we're watching the replay now.
It was dipping, and it just curled wide. Oh.
Yeah, good effort. Wraps his foot round it. Hits him from at least 40 yards. It wasn't as much power in it, but there was a lot of swing and dip, and just missed that far post.
I think Danny Röhl can barely believe what he's seeing either. I mean, look, the fans are chanting his name again. Yeah, got a big smile on his face there, Mark, and I think there was almost a little bit of the shake of the head in disbelief, really, that his team is constantly producing, that this is 3-0 now, 2 penalty saves. You've got that whole of the North Stand singing your name. I mean, what a turnaround at this football club. It's astonishing.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Listen, I don't think he's blinded us with science as regards his tactical nous and stuff like that, but the players are putting a lot more work in now and shift, and then they're getting the rewards.
Fletcher's going to work this one towards Palmer, who's going to chase it down and try and get there, but there was just too much on it. And it goes behind for the goal kick. So 2 minutes to go until the break. Danny Röhl actually in deep conversation with Malik Wilkes at the minute. I wonder if there's going to be a change at half-time. I mean, at 3-0, you could forgive him for thinking, you know what, there's one or two that I might want to just take off at half-time.
Yeah. Well, that might be the situation, or somebody's carrying an injury or whatever it is, because, as I say, you probably want to keep it going for another. You want to kill the game. I mean, it's more or less killed off now at 3-0. Another one would actually kill it off altogether. Now, whether that comes in the first 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes of the second period, then start making your changes, I'm not quite sure.
I remember I used to look on with envy at the German national teams. They used to go and play the minnows, Mark, back in the day. This is when Germany were good at football, and they'd win sort of 7-8-0, stuff like that. And England had gone beat them 2-0. And then, I always admired that sort of German mentality of keep going, foot to the pedal. Love to see a bit of that in the second half here from this German manager. See if Wednesday can
Oh,
can go and get a couple more, as this one's nutmegged here by
I think that was Masaba. Yeah.
And then tried to play it over towards the right. Masaba was drifted into the midfield there and gone into a very central position. Hekwa gets out of position there, and he probably did well just to block the man off, concede the foul, not going to book in or anything, and play continues. Here's Ateti, gets to the edge of the area. He's going to be held up here. Good tackle comes in from Diaby. It's that big frame in the way. Now Windass with a good ball over towards the right hand side. Chance for Gassama now to have a run, but it's going to be deflected behind. Actually it was Masaba, not going to actually gone behind for the corner, it's just gone out for a throw by the corner flag.
It looks to me that Masaba is, he just could do with, when he gets the ball, is to slow the defender down, because he seems to be doing everything at like 100 mile an hour. When he picks it up to when he's running past people to receiving it before, and if he just calms down and just slows the defender down and then goes again, he might get a bit more success.
Here is Bernard. Closing stages of the first half here, BBC Radio Sheffield. So Sheffield United were comfortably through against Gillingham. Sheffield Wednesday at the moment heading the same way. One of the great things from last year was the fact that as the board goes up and shows 4 minutes, is that in the FA Cup, for some reason the FA didn't have electronic boards with numbers on both sides, so you couldn't actually see, if you were in the press box,
alright,
how much stoppage time there was. But last season they found a board that has the numbers on both sides, you know, like every other football match ever. So well done to them. Here is Liam Palmer, 4 minutes. Bet the Cardiff players can't wait to just get back in the dressing room. Probably can't wait to get back in the bus. Here's Palmer. Palmer will drill this one over. What a ball that is. Over towards Valentin. Valentin, great touch from Paul Valentin. Will he shoot? No, he plays it into the middle. It's Masaba. He finds Gassama and he mishits it when he should have scored. Mark Smith, that should be 4-0.
Yeah, it's great play from Liam Palmer. He's on the left hand side and he gets his head up, switches play, gets Valentin flying in down the opposite side, cuts inside, unselfish, lays it off I think to Masaba. Masaba then lays it off to Gassama, and obviously between the three of them they all miss.
That was wonderful football. I mean, that's the shame really. I bet Palmer and Valentin and everybody else who was involved in that move will be having a word with Gassama on the way and going, what did you do that for? That was goal of the week. I was going to say it was goal of the weekend, but Liam Palmer's will have a shout for that. The way that the passing was going there, it just needed the finish. Plus I wanted to see what celebration he was going to do. We missed out for now as that one goes out of play. Gassama working hard to get the ball off Sawyers. It'll be a throw-in on this near side. So 3-0 to Wednesday. 2 minutes of the 4 minutes of stoppage time have gone. It's been a lot of fun this first half, unless you are following Cardiff City. They've missed 2 penalties and conceded 3. Although in fairness there's not a great deal they could have done about the Liam Palmer goal, and the Josh Windass strike was a good one as well.
You'd probably look and say, well listen, they'd be coming in and probably saying, listen, we're a little bit,
it's not a 3-0 game, is it?
Unlucky, because it's not 3-0 game. It might end up like now, but like, even now, look, you've got another 3-on-3.
Well, credit to both managers for taking the risks,
yeah,
and having a go. That's what we wanted to see. There's nothing worse than a game where neither team really wants the replay, but then plays like that's what they're desperate for.
Yeah.
And yet here today it's been wide open. It's been entertaining, it's been interesting. Been some key performances from Sheffield Wednesday as well. And look, at those 2 penalties go in, totally different game. Here is Sawyers. Sawyers plays it through to the edge of the box. Here's a shot, another save from Dawson, who parries it. And then controlled by Famewo, who's giving it away on the edge of the box. Back in there from Robinson, who tries to turn. Kicked away by Bernard. Colwill tries to clip it into Ateti. Controls it on his shoulder. Shoots! Another great save from Cam Dawson to get it away. That was a really smart save. Bowler will collect possession on the right. Gassama's hassling there, trying to get the ball off him. It's played back to Xavier Benjamin, who's been ponderous on the ball all night, and he's given away a throw-in here. And that'll be a Wednesday ball. But Cam Dawson had a terrific first half.
Again, there's chances there where they're peppering our goal, but Cam's coming out with a couple of really good saves. But interesting there that you saw Fletcher coming back, tackling, stopping people, which he wasn't doing that early part of the season. Now he's chasing back, getting a foot in, help them defend, and then obviously, working hard to put people under pressure. Not working going towards their goal, but actually coming back towards his own goal.
Ball thrown forward, headed into the air. Sawyers flicked on here by Cardiff. Flag goes up against Ateti. And there's the half-time whistle, so there we go.
Interesting.
What a weird first half that was, but thoroughly entertaining. Wednesday scored after a minute through Josh Windas's excellent low drive into the bottom corner. And then in the space of 6 minutes, we saw that goal and 2 penalties awarded to Cardiff, both saved by Cam Dawson. Ryan Winthall's effort was saved, then Callum Robinson's effort was saved. We wondered what on earth was going on. It was 1-0 for a long time, and then a corner from Windass on the left, headed in by Michael Ihekwe, and then seconds after, a wonder goal from Liam Palmer to make it 3-0, chesting it down, smacking it into the goal, gave Jack Anick no chance. We then saw a chance for Gassama to make it 4-0, and the half ended with 2 brilliant saves from Cam Dawson, who's just gone down the tunnel there. Nicky Weaver and Sasha Lenser, the goalkeeping coach at Sheffield Wednesday, patting him on the head, and he had the biggest smile on his face, Cam Dawson, that I think I've ever seen. And he's quite a pleasant chap at the best of times, Mark, but he was absolutely delighted with that, and so he should be, and so should Danny Röhl and Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, that's I'm really pleased like for Cam, because as I said earlier, he gets a bit of stick. Sometimes it's obviously needed, but other times I think it's been unfortunate that he's got it. But again, he saved 2 penalties. There's not many goalkeepers will have said, well, I've saved 2 penalties within 10 minutes. And then I've actually helped us keep the scoreline to 0, because he has made 3 or 4 really good saves, to be fair. And it's been one of them games. I think their manager are walking in and think, well, you've kept the ball really well, you've worked it, you've actually created chances, that kind of thing. But the only thing that we're lacking is actually a bit of ruthlessness in front of goal. Sheffield Wednesday on there, we've rolled his luck a little bit, but then we've actually scored 3 good goals ourselves and had a couple of chances. And we've been ruthless in front of goal, as I say. Windass, great strike, and then you get the header, which is more or less right on the goalkeeper, right on the touch on the goal line. It goes in, but then Liam Palmer's strike from the edge of the box on the volley, right across the keeper, brilliant, fantastic. But as I say, it's been a really, really interesting game, really entertaining game. And again, I don't know whether they turn around and think, well, listen, we've lost this game now, we don't see as much in the second half. I'm not quite sure, but I think there's more goals in it, that's definite, one way or the other.
Well, we'll see. I can't say I've looked forward to the second half as much as I have this one in a long time, because this is the kind of game where anything could happen. So stay with us on BBC Radio Sheffield. Mark Smith and Rob Staten with you here at Hillsborough. We're at half-time at Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
I've just tested a leaf. It's definitely garlic. Well done, and thank you.
Well done.
The Grow Show.
Dendrobium's the word you're trying to say.
Dendrobium. Mary, rather you than me trying to say that on the radio.
Answering your gardening questions and celebrating plants, gardens and green spaces.
It feels so secure, like you're surrounded by trees and birds.
The Grow Show with Kat and Neil.
It's a case who can get the biggest rose plant. At the moment, I'm winning.
Sunday morning from 9.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
Yeah, football heaven here on BBC Radio Sheffield. 23 minutes past 6 on this Saturday evening. Hope you're well. FA Cup 3rd round weekend, and what a weekend it's been so far for our sides in South Yorkshire and North Derbyshire. Joseph Hadfield taking you through half-time. We'll be back with Rob and Mark for full second half commentary of Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff City in the not too distant future. Just bringing you up to date with the rest of the half-time scores that kicked off at 5:30 on this Saturday evening, and well, it's pretty simple. They're all goalless apart from at Hillsborough. Chelsea against Preston North End is goalless, as is Middlesbrough against Aston Villa, and Swansea City against Morecambe. So as I was saying, big weekend of commentaries here on Football Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. We've brought you 4 so far. We're in the middle of our 5th. Wasn't to be for Rotherham United, sadly, last night, losing 1-0 away at Premier League Fulham. We were on the road with Sheffield United at 3 o'clock. And, it was a comfortable victory, shall we say, for the Blades through to the 4th round of the world's oldest cup competition with a 4-0 hammering of League 2 Gillingham. Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 up at home to Cardiff. We'll hopefully hear a bit from Doncaster Rovers boss Grant McCann. Doncaster Rovers losing 3-1 away at Harrogate Town in League 2 action. But our half-time roundup starts down at Vicarage Road, where Chesterfield of the National League pushed Championship Watford all the way. They'd knocked out Portsmouth, they'd knocked out Leyton Orient to reach the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and they led at half-time 1-0, and they held on almost for a replay, and just at the end, agonisingly conceded late on to lose 2-1 away at Championship side Watford. Well, after that game, Danny Webb, the assistant boss of the Spireites, spoke with Paul Fisher.
Overriding feelings after that, Danny?
Yeah, pleased. It was a cracking day with a bit of a sickener of an ending. Then you get in the dressing room and see the other scores in our league, and it probably brings you down to earth. That is our bread and butter. Restarting again on Wednesday night. I think, listen, if we'd gone to a replay, we'd all have been pleased, and no one wanted that last minute sickening do, especially those 4,000 people behind the goal. I think when the dust settles, it'll be a case of we had a right go, we played ever so well, we made a Championship team look ordinary for periods. Let's get it right, they missed a couple of good chances early on which could have put the game to bed. You need to ride your luck at times. We missed a good chance near the end, they got the other end of the score. That's football, that's the FA Cup. But like you say, we look at the phone after. Bromley dropped points, Barnet dropped points, but it means nothing if we don't turn up against Gateshead Wednesday night.
It was a nervy start, really, from Chesterfield, and there was a couple of opportunities, but as the game went on, the confidence grew, and backed by those amazing supporters as well. Yeah,
it's just a shame that Quiggs' goal wasn't that end, wasn't it? But yeah, listen, you're looking at the clock, and when you play these Championship teams, it's the same West Brom at our place, you just feel if they get an opportunity sooner or later, they might score. I thought we defended our box brilliantly. I thought we attacked well, open plays, set plays, great passing and penetration that the gaffer talks about all the time. So there's so many positives. I mean, you look at our FA Cup games alone, Orient, Pompey and today, I think we've really done the National League proud.
There was lots of people in the press box who don't watch Chesterfield regularly who were just saying Chesterfield playing some unbelievable football in that, especially in that first half as well.
Yeah, we were playing ever so well, and I think that's the biggest thing today. That if we come here and got trounced and lost 5-0 and really were poor, even though it's a Championship team, you're saying the same thing. Well, I am saying the same things after in terms of focus on the league and blah blah blah. But I think the fact we've given it a right go, taken it to the last kick of the game. Those supporters probably they'll be a bit gutted, obviously, in their trip home, but wake up in the morning, they can all focus on Gateshead, knowing that's where our real intentions lie this season.
Yeah, you touched on it there, but a couple of bits of quality. The Esprit cross Varivich has had in. They've had to bring on subs to get the equaliser, and Deli Bashir's driving run at the end there, from a tired Chesterfield defence who performed so well in that game.
Yeah, and it's just that bit of quality, that chop, wasn't it? And then I think he might have took a little nick before it went in the goal, but I thought Boot was excellent. Big mention to Boot today. For him and Harry Tyre, we've got two such cracking goalkeepers and cracking people at the club, and everyone showed you right. It's a bit of a nervy start, but that can be forgiven, and you're hoping that nervy start doesn't put you 2 or 3-0 down. It didn't. Yes, we rode our luck a bit, but also the recovery tackle from Frex was great. Boots made a save. Everyone was in it together, and it wasn't that sort of FA Cup performance that you read about when non-league teams just sit in their box and they clear it and they kill time. We just played our normal game. That was a message before. Play your normal game. You might have to run a bit hard and do things a little bit better, but play your normal game and make those supporters proud. And I think we did that today.
I mean, for Ryan Colclough as well in that header, 6 yards out. Could have put it anywhere really, couldn't he? But it's just that little bit of extra luck, wasn't it, really, from him?
Yeah, it was. It was a great ball from Mandy, and Palms puts it back across goal excellently. Another day he scores. He scored a great run, didn't he, against the other day. So listen, Ryan's a bit quiet in there, a bit down, but Ryan's an excellent player. He's done wonders for us. And like I say, this is the phrase "day out." It's not just thrown around loosely. It's a day out. The supporters got really. We pulled up. The roads were packed. The pubs were packed, all with our fans, by the way. they sing, and it is a free hit. They enjoyed a different type of pressure. They'll all have that same sickening feeling on their way home now because it's the last kick of the game. But like I say, when they all wake up tomorrow morning, they'll be proud of their team, and they'll all look forward to Wednesday night.
Yeah, they certainly made the voices heard as well around Vicarage Road as well, which was a day celebrating Graham Taylor and John Duncan, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, it was great, yeah. I think it was nice everyone showed some applause. And it's difficult because we were all trying to applaud, but it was during a Watford attack, so we were half trying to coach the players. So it was great that everyone paid their respects to two great men in football.
Well done, Danny. I mean, obviously you've got a game against Gateshead on Wednesday, which is the more important game. Yeah. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah. It's miles more important, and it's one of them. You try and, like I say, you don't want to lose in the last minute of the game, but when you see the other results in our league, you probably think, okay, you'd rather those results go the way they did and we don't get a replay. A, it's another game, and B, if we had to choose between, our rivals dropping points and maybe getting to the fourth round, we want our rivals to drop points. Let's get it right. We've been in this league long enough and we need to get out of it, but it's a hell of a long way to go. Just because Bromley drew today, they're still chasing us down, as our barn, as all the teams up there. We need to make sure on Wednesday and going forward, every league game now this FA Cup is done, that we turn up.
That's Chesterfield assistant boss Danny Webb there after the Spirites' excellent performance away at Championship side Watford. The result wasn't to be, but it was an excellent performance nonetheless, and the Spirites can hold their heads high. It's football heaven here on BBC Radio Sheffield, 6:30. We'll be back with Rob and Mark for full second half commentary of Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff City 0 in a few moments' time. We'll have full match commentary indeed of Chesterfield against Gateshead in the National League. That's Wednesday night. We'll be taking your calls on 0800 111 49 49, building up to that 7:45 kickoff. And there's no praise or grumble tonight after this game, so don't ring in tonight, but do give us a ring on Monday night and every weeknight 6 until 7, 0800 111 49 49. Back to then League 2 commentary earlier on today. Doncaster Rovers defeated 3-1 away at Harrogate Town in a Yorkshire derby of sorts. Whether you class it as a Yorkshire derby or not, but nonetheless Doncaster Rovers defeated this afternoon. Grant McCann, the Doncaster Rovers boss, after the game had a chat with Tom Biltcliffe.
Grant, 3-1 defeat here against Harrogate. Your thoughts after that one?
Harsh. I felt harsh. The scoreline probably doesn't tell the full picture of the game. With a slow start, first 15-20 minutes, they've obviously got the goal. Again, we're not learning. We're just simply not learning or taking information on board about people keeping people outside us. We let them come in, side foot into the corner. Then we get ourselves back into the game. Good finish from Tommy Rowe. From probably that minute onwards, we controlled the rest of the first half. Really dominant in terms of how we played. Didn't have enough efforts at their goal, but the play was good. Second half, we started quite bright again. We had numerous chances to score. We don't score, and then we just, the second goal again, we let them inside the pitch. Then we lose it, then it gets switched to the other side, and we just don't defend across. And the third one's just a carbon copy of possibly the first goal. Again, I know it was further out, but we let the dough inside the pitch. And the players need to understand this. It's been this has happened from pre-season now, about the principles and how we work. We keep people outside us. We let them inside. He shoots. It's a good finish from the lad, to be fair, but it shouldn't happen.
To that end, I mean, from 60 minutes on, were you tempted to make a change, or were you happy with the status quo and thought that your side could go on and maybe get something more than a point?
I thought we were really dominant. I can't remember a chance they had, right up until the mistake from us that leads them to get the second goal. And from their point of view, they may say it's a good goal, but we should defend better. We were very much, we felt we were the better team, creating opportunities. We had numerous opportunities to score, and we didn't do it.
There's an absolute age after that goal. I mean, you had best part of half an hour to try and get back into it, but it went the other way.
Yeah, again, we let him inside the pitch. We just let a door inside the pitch, and it doesn't matter what level you play at. You let people inside the pitch. You say it all the time at the top level. Premier League, when defenders let them inside the pitch, any level will hurt you. Teams can hurt you because you're just opening the goal up for them, giving them a shot. And unfortunately, it's hurting us at the minute.
Were there a couple of players who could have done better in that instance? Maybe in midfield. I didn't quite see how the ball ended up in the top gear.
There is, but we'll keep that in house. I'm not here to criticise my team. Don't you worry about that.
Positives then from your side of things today?
Positives, I thought, again, we kept the performance in terms of how we played football. The goals didn't go in for us today. We had numerous opportunities, but negatives is those habits that's hurt us this season and goals we've conceded came out again today, and that's how Harrogate's got our 3 goals today.
The fact that your side haven't gone 3 unbeaten all season, does that go a long way to explaining where you are consistently inconsistent?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just where we are at this moment in time. We seem to be able not to sustain.
That's Doncaster Rovers boss Grant McCann there. Back to Hillsborough and Rob Staten.
Thanks, Joseph. We are back here, and a couple of changes one change at least for Sheffield Wednesday. We've seen Malik Wilks come on for Anthony Masaba as expected. I think we're going to see a change for Cardiff as well. Joel Colwill is coming on, and he is going to replace Xavier Benjamin, who I thought he had a torrid first half at times in that first half. So Benjamin goes off, and Joel Colwill comes on, and Malik Wilks on for Masaba. We could see Danny Rill deep in conversation with Wilks before half-time, Mark, so not a big surprise that that is the change for the Owls, and 45 minutes for Wilks to go on and show what he can do here.
Yeah, we were talking early doors as regards Fletcher and as regards how he's standing still and, you know, obviously not building on what he was like renowned for, like as a younger player. And I think the same can be said for Malik Wilks. I remember seeing him at Hull City and places like that, and where I'm thinking he's decent. Him quite actually direct, strong, that kind of thing. But he seems to have come to Sheffield Wednesday, and it's as I say, his career has just come to a standstill. So there's another opportunity for him to go and show you what he can do.
Well, we were talking about brothers at half-time, because my brother is on the mic pitch side today, doing all of the reading the stuff out here today, and Joel Colwill has just come on to play with his brother Ruben Colwill for Cardiff City at half-time.
Yeah. He looks like more of a defensive midfield player.
Here he is.
And his brother is he's done all right in the first half. He got into a few dangerous positions, didn't really end up with anything.
Well, they linked up there because he tried to play it through to him, and then his brother Ruben fouled his man and didn't get the return pass off. I know what I'd be saying to my brother in that situation. Not for broadcast, I'm afraid. But this one's taken short by Hekwa. Bernard and Hekwa just knocking it around here. Now, here is Palmer. Palmer back to the goalkeeper, Cam Dawson. Do wonder, you know, there's so much to talk about with the players after the game. I wonder who of the players we will get to speak to, assuming this is not the miraculous comeback here from Cardiff and that Wednesday can actually get through to the next round. Could it be Liam Palmer? Love to know who he was running towards in the technical area to celebrate with after the goal.
It looked like Cliff Powell. That means Chris Powell. Now whether he said to him, like, you know, you don't shoot enough or often enough, that kind of thing. I don't know. Look at the referees, like, hey up.
That's a foul there in midfield, and Cardiff players are complaining. He's going to get booked, and no surprise there. Bowler is very aggressive in going up to the referee. Got the free kick though, Mark. I don't understand that.
He didn't get the first one, Rob, and to be fair, the first one is a foul, so why the referee didn't give it, I don't know. And then he gives it the next one. That's what I think he was remonstrating about.
They've got to book him for his efforts. It's one of those rare times where you win a free kick and get a yellow card, as NG will take this free kick inside his own half. Again, a quick reminder, you can listen online if you want to, and via the Radio Sheffield website. Listen on a device or on your laptop or whatever. Do have FA Cup commentary rights for online, so you can listen there. Wednesday, as things stand, heading for round 4, but here's a ball down the right hand side, and the flag has stayed down, and Dawson's come a long way out of his goal and he won't get there, and Atete's rounded him on the right hand side. Can he pull it back to a teammate? Pulls it back to Joe Colwill, and he's sandwiched by 2 Sheffield Wednesday players. Dawson's back in his goal now, and Wednesday survive.
That looked a foul.
It did look a foul. We'll see if we'll come back to that in a second. Here's Ruben Colwill. He's going to get his cross and it's cleared. So it was Joel, wasn't it, on the edge of the area, and the 2 Wednesday players just went absolutely hammered him.
He just got wiped out.
Ref said play on. perhaps fancies a less eventful opening 6 minutes of the second half compared to the first, where he gave 2 penalties, both saved. As Paul Valentin makes a good tackle here, but he can't keep it in. So ball out of play, and it will be Cardiff throw-in. It's going to be thrown in from this left-hand side. Wednesday fans making the noise on the north stand across from us. Just the north and south open to Wednesday fans today. No cop or grandstand. Ball played through. Those Cardiff fans, well, they've watched an entertaining game having travelled all the way from South Wales, but they didn't come all this way to be 3-0 down at half-time. But as we've been saying, it isn't a 3-0 game, as Wednesday...
It's like that situation just there, though, Rob. I mean, Cameron Dawson's gone flying out onto the wing. Missed it.
Shot from distance here, and Dawson for a second was off his line, and you just wondered if that was on target, was it going to go over his head and in, but it was always drifting wide from Ruben Colwill, and it seems as if the Colwill brothers are just going to dominate the ball in this second half. The first 5 minutes they've been all over it. So goal kick, Cam Dawson takes it. He's going to take that one short and get the return and play it back to Bernard. So the draw for the fourth round is going to be held at about 7:50 p.m. On Monday. So there you go. It'll be 7:50 on Monday. It's going to be... They're going to conduct the draw in advance of the Wigan Man United game, which kicks off at 8:15. Another wonderful kick-off time there in the FA Cup. 8:15. At least it's a local game between Wigan and Manchester United. So we'll see. And I don't know how the Sheffield fans would feel about this, Mark, but I personally will be rooting for a Sheffield Steel City derby.
Yeah, well, it'd be really, really nice, wouldn't it? Especially with the way things are going at the moment, between the two teams and struggling in either league. But again, you know, this place would be rocking if it was here, or even at Bramall Lane it'd be rocking, because there's bragging rights to be had, isn't there, as regards who's the top team in the city. But again, you know, we'll just fingers crossed. But I just think that getting into the round for into the draw for the fourth round, I think that's high up on your agenda at the moment. So go from there.
Well, if it's not that, as the ball's played through here, and Wednesday is stretched, Robinson is on the left-hand side. He cuts into the area now. He's pulled it across. It's come off the thigh of Bernard, and he probably should have done a bit better there, Callum Robinson, having gone into that position. It wasn't the most convincing run, and then he just plays it into the box, and Bernard sort of thighs it behind for a corner.
Again, you're beyond the last man, driving into the box, and nothing comes of it. I'd be pulling my hair out if I was the manager or the head coach of Cardiff, because they have played quite well. They've got up to that final third, and then from there it's just fizzled out. They don't really know what to do.
Ball comes in from the left, headed away, and up towards the halfway line, collected by Cardiff, and that's a poor pass from Perry and G. Tried to find Robinson on the left, but just kicked it straight out of play for a throw-in. There's a Wednesday player, Paul Valentin, who's just limping towards this football to try and take the throw. Seems to be in some discomfort as the chants of Danny Rill's name again ring around Hillsborough. Well, we did the post-match interview at Preston and Hull in the teeming rain, Mark, and on both occasions Danny Rill mentioned that as great as everything is at the minute, the weather in England is awful. So we'll
he's right there.
See what the weather is like after this one, as Windass runs down the right hand side. Good ball in from Windass, just couldn't find Gassama, who was making a run into the box, but then the defender has lost it over on the far side. That is Rinom Hotta, and it's going to be collected by Gassama. Toe pokes it backwards here, finds for Maywo, and then back to Diaby in midfield. Palmer, Bernard on halfway, turns away from his man. Bernard down the line towards Gassama, tries to turn, and he's fouled, and it is a free kick. Paul Valentin on the other side of the pitch is still walking gingerly, and he has just given a thumbs up to Malik Wilkes.
I mean, Valentin's just got back into the side, hasn't he? So again, it'd be a really, really blow to himself if he had to come off there through an injury.
Wednesday tried to set the free kick quickly with Gassama in a good position, but the ref blown his whistle and says no. Referee Thomas Kirk. So it'll be taken again. It's Windass on the left-hand side. It's a midway inside the Cardiff half. It's a deep cross. Right-footed, in it goes. It's a good ball. It's headed away by Cardiff to the edge of the area, and then a mistake. Bernard has towed it to the Cardiff player rather than the Wednesday player, and they can break, but Valentin's there covering, and he's like a jet engine when he sets off running. On that occasion, though, I think maybe the effects of that injury, he just hasn't fully recovered yet because he got stuck under his feet a bit. It's played by Etete off Valentin, out of play for a throw-in. Here's Sawyers over towards the right hand side, ball into the midfield there. Sawyers, now here's Ruben Colwill will shoot. It's a comfortable save for Cam Dawson. It was well hit, but straight at him, and not even our Welsh speaking counterparts at the side of us were getting too excited with that one there. Mark Smith.
Yeah, he was again, Colwill, he's done alright, to be fair, but again, I saw that a couple of the Cardiff players were screaming for him not to shoot, but just to pass it square and stuff like that. So, but at least he was positive on it.
Here's Palmer just holds on to the ball, goes across here towards Bernard finds Famewo goes all the way back to Dawson. Wednesday fans rather uncharitably saying, shall we sing a song for you, to the Cardiff fans who have had a right trek over here and not really had that much to sing about and chant about, although given away here by Bernard, but then he wins it back, and this is the Mark, you have to explain this one to me. So he's given it away, he's won it back, he's won the ball cleanly, the man's collided with him in the tackle, bowler goes down, ref gives a free kick. We don't want to see that be given as a free kick, do we? Or do we?
I don't know. I mean, what free kicks are given for now? It's sometimes it's just the intent that they pulled up yellow card and red card and that kind of stuff. There, I think is it Bernard? He was. They were trying to play out. He gives the ball away. It was a poor pass, and straight away dived in to get it back. He's won the ball, but obviously he's followed through. He's caught the player. The player's gone over. As I say, I think sometimes that it looks a foul, so it's easy for referees just to cop out and say that a free kick there.
If you take the physicality out of the game, you'll make it a lot more boring to watch. Winthall's pass into the box. He's had a shocking corner, a shocking penalty, and now a shocking set-piece routine as he passed that one into the box. Everyone kind of looked at each other. It just was kicked away by a Wednesday player.
He's got to have something on something, I don't know, because he's gone in there and he's like, we set this up, and it was poor. Let's put it bluntly, it was poor. And sometimes he's running 50-60 yards to get on the free kick.
I'm starting to wonder whether he just on Christmas Day he opened his present. It was a present from the gaffer here. I opened it up and it says take all the corners, free kicks and
here we go, another one
given away by Wednesday. Crossed into the box, cut out by Bernard, and it was Ollie Tanner who got into the good position but couldn't make the most of it. Kicked away by Wednesday up towards Fletcher, who heads it on, gives Wilkes something to chase, but the covering defender was there, and it was the aforementioned Winthall. Keeper has it. Keeper boots it forward. Bowler touches it on nicely to Ruben Colwill. Colwill boots it down the middle. That's a terrific ball towards Robinson. It just held up in the mud though, and it was hooked away by Hekwa. Not a strong challenge from Palmer on Colwill again, who's been all over midfield. And back into halfway now with Cardiff having possession. Tanner again. Tanner plays it into the edge of the box. Now Robinson twists away, shoots, drags it wide. No danger. Cam Dawson there.
As I say, I think it's just looks to me as though they could play for 3 games and they won't score a goal. They're just devoid of any kind of confidence and idea once they get into that final third. Up to it, it's some decent football. They're playing some. I mean, obviously, I think Wednesday's line-up and like with Windass dropping, going further forward, so it looks like a 4-2-4 at times. So they outnumber the two in midfield, so they can keep it all day long. But then from there, as I say, it's they won the ball back again. They're into final third. There you go. Here we go.
Flip back to Sawyer, midway inside the Wednesday half.
Yep.
He looks up. It has been a very open game. But credit to the teams that it has been so open. Bowler on the right-hand side now. Chance to cross in, gets it on his left foot. Finds Ruben Colwell instead on the right corner of the box. Now it's chipped over towards the left. Left here towards Tanner. Tanner drills it in, and it was almost an own goal from Ihekwe. He mishit that clearance. It spooned towards the top corner, and Dawson has to palm it behind for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's gone behind him. He's looked one way, Ihekwe, and I don't know, it's actually deflected off him, and Cam Dawson's had to pull one out from the top corner.
Here's Robinson. Corner was taken short. Robinson gets his cross in, easy headed clearance for Wednesday. Robinson again on the left hand side, back to Wintle, almost kicked away by Gassama, and then worked over by Renham Hutter over towards the right. There's a decent little run from Colwell here. He's getting himself about, is Ruben Colwell, putting in a shift. It's moved over towards Ollie Tanner again on this left hand side. He cuts inside, he fancies a dig, and it wasn't too far away. It's curling towards that bottom left corner of Dawson's goal, and it goes just wide.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's good play. I mean, that's what I keep saying, is that there's good build-up play. Obviously Tanner then is left-footed, he's cut inside onto his right foot, tried to shape it in the far corner, just got it wrong a little bit, and it missed the far post, went wide. But again, you could be looking at it now, and probably the stats might say chances or shots, Cardiff have had more. Goals, Sheffield Wednesday have had more.
Well, we're going to see some changes now from both teams. We're going to see Kian Ashford come on for Keon Atete. We're going to see Reece James come on for Jedi Gassama. Going to see Reece James back in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt, and we're going to see Rio Shipston, the man who loves a tackle. So keep an eye on that, as he's going to come on for Momo Diaby. So two changes for Wednesday, one for Cardiff.
But you're looking at Momo Diaby now, and you think, right, okay, he's had a good hour under his belt. I think you've just got to be a bit careful as how you reintroduce him into the games programme and stuff like that. So again, he's had his hour. I can see what he does for the team. He breaks things up. He's looking at like a Carlton Palmer lookalike, if you know what I mean, who's probably 10, 15, might be even 20 years like kind of thing missing like now, but he's in there, he wins things, gallops around the pitch, has a good engine, good size, nicks balls, intercepts on things, and quite simple in possession. So it's looking good that you've got another player who's back into your squad right now and looking to be available for games which is going to be important coming up.
Malik Wilkes is fouled here by Ollie Tanner, so that'll be a free kick to Wednesday just inside the Cardiff half. Get Malachi Fagan-Wolcott on. I want to say that name a few more times tonight. Get him on, Cardiff. That is a name.
That is a name.
Valentin back towards Ihekwe. Ihekwe goes all the way back to Dawson. Wednesday fans are currently singing Baldy, what's the score, to a bold Cardiff fan who's positioned himself right at the front of the...
I was trying to work that one out. Oh, he's in. Good little turn from Shipston.
Just couldn't carry it on the run down that left-hand side. I just feel it's important to say at this point that bold people are people too. And I bet he's thinking, I've come about 300 miles to be called Baldy. Yep. Here's Wilkes, who's going to shoot from the edge of the box. So it was instinctive. It kind of just fell to him. as it was nodded on by Paul Valentin, and there was not a great deal on, so we just turned and hit it from 25-30 yards, and it almost sneaked in there. It was an instinctive bit of play, and he could just perhaps detect that the keeper was not best positioned, and he dragged it wide in the end. I think the keeper would have had it covered looking at the replay, but goes wide. 64 gone, 3-0 still to Sheffield Wednesday. All of the drama in the first half in terms of the goals and the penalty saves. Here's a stat for you, Mark. Since the 2021-22 season, Cam Dawson has saved 7 of 12 penalties.
Wow.
Which are not shootouts. Obviously, he didn't save any of the ones in the Peterborough shootout. They were missed. But that's quite a record, isn't it, when it's not penalty shootouts? 7 of 12.
As I say, it's... again, you know, you probably look at penalties like now, and if Cam's in the goal, he's probably expecting him to save it. If you look at that record,
better than a 50% record on them.
Listen, should have saved it, shouldn't he?
Yeah,
should have saved 2 in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, of course, anybody can do that.
He can. 7 out of 12.
Well, this is the thing that I've been saying, is that I have Wednesday fans sending me tweets saying awful when he's not even been responsible for the goals.
Exactly.
At the Coventry game, and I don't quite understand that. He's had a great game today.
Yeah, he's done really well today.
Windas's free kick in towards Ihekwe. Ihekwe heads it across the goal. Somehow it's managed to evade a line of blue and white shirts, and Cardiff can clear. And then it's played towards Bowler, who's got a bit of space here. Then he's cut back inside away from one of the Wednesday defenders and chipped it nicely over towards Ollie Tanner. Tanner runs forward, plays it towards Robinson, back towards Tanner again. He drags it into the midfield for Bowler. Colwill plays a nice 1-2. Chance to cross for Cardiff. It does come in. It's Robinson, and he's headed it wide. What he missed from there?
That was started in their own penalty area. I was just looking and thinking about, I quite like the way they play at times. It results in a great little ball from Colwell, which frees up the right back to get into the right side of the penalty area, sticks it on a plate for Callum Robinson, and he manages to put it wide.
It was bang in the middle of the 6-yard box.
Exactly, right in the middle of the goal.
It's just begging to be nodded in. It's a goal kick. Really poor. Well, the former Blade not enjoying his return to Sheffield tonight.
Yeah.
He's had the second penalty saved as well. I think that poor Cardiff fans getting the brunt of it still. There's a lot of fun going on. This has been a fun game.
Oh yeah.
Fun afternoon.
They spent more time looking in the crowd.
I think the fans over there are asking him to show a bit of skin, and he's family show and all of that.
Not his head.
And it's not the head this time. And he was shaping as if he was going to reciprocate, but he's decided not to. Those fans are making fun for themselves. Cardiff and the Wednesday fans bonding in a way with some banter. As Wilkes barges his way through here, gets away from one defender. What can he do? Gets to the edge of the box. He's going to shoot. Hits it cleanly, but straight to the keeper, Mark Smith.
Yeah, good, nice positive run. It suits him playing on the right hand side with him being left-footed. He's coming in now inside the pitch. He likes to run with it. He opens himself up and he's allowed to fire shots off with his good foot, if you know what I mean.
Fletcher pressing
mostly straight at the keeper, like, to be fair. But I'm sure he'll be thinking like, well, listen, I've got a chance here.
Here's Robinson again, and again the game just opens up, and Cardiff will attack down the left. Then Robinson cuts inside, and he's going to curl it straight at Cam Dawson. Comfortable save. The one thing that personally might be a little bit disappointed in the blue and white shirt tonight is that Ashley Fletcher's not really been able to have much of an impact. Talked about it before the game. Big chance for him leading the line. He's been involved, but
he hasn't had a shot at goal, has he?
No.
Or attempt at goal.
I bet if you'd have said to him, look, Wednesday will be 3-0 up at half time and you're playing up front, he would have thought, oh, fancy that. Fancy getting him on the score sheet here.
Yeah. But I don't think there's been that many chances created by Sheffield Wednesday, apart from the 3 what they've shot. Well, they've gone straight in.
Cardiff have had 15 shots, Wednesday have had 10. Wednesday 4 on target, Cardiff 7 on target. Possession is 53-47 in favour of Wednesday. It's amazing, really. At the start of the season, Wednesday were having like 25% of the ball under Xisco and about 2 shots.
Yeah.
And the opponent were having about 17.
Yeah. It'd be interesting now, because it seems to me as if Cardiff's had more possession in the game. I don't know what you think, but
it feels that way.
Obviously, the stats going on back the other way, saying that.
I mean, not miles more, not 60-40, but it certainly feels like Cardiff have had more.
Yeah,
of the ball,
exactly.
Apparently not. It's gone backwards here towards Bernard. Palmer. All played through and touched off by Wilkes, but it was an awkward one for Palmer to control. And then Heck was out of position as it's moved down to the left, and the 45 Cian Ashford, who's come off the bench. Palmer with a tackle behind for a corner. The other scores in the FA Cup: Chelsea 3, Preston 0. Chelsea 3 second half goals. Broja, Silva and Sterling have put Chelsea 3 up. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 0. See, this is a competition where you think Villa would have a real go at this. Borough 0, Villa 0 with 72 gone. Cross comes in here, punched away by Cam Dawson from the corner, back in by Cardiff, cleared away by Wednesday up towards halfway. It's also Swansea 1, Morecambe 0, and I can tell you the breaking news is Baldy's took his shirt off, which is what the Wednesday fans were calling for.
Oh yeah, I can see him now.
He looks just like Tango. That was what the big cheer was for in the background there.
Listen, I wonder what that was for.
Oh, fair play to that gentleman, but he's absolutely frozen now, though. It's a cold night here in Sheffield. And the belly is exposed as the ball is played to the edge of the area. Cardiff continue the run. That's going to go behind for a goal kick, though. It's come off Ollie Tanner last. Wednesday 3-0 up. We've had 70 minutes, 20 minutes to go. Just a reminder of the other scores in the Cup. Coventry beat Oxford 6-2. Maidstone of non-league knocked out Stevenage, who are going well in League One. Millwall 2, Leicester 3. Leicester squeezed through.
It's cheerleading now.
Is it?
Go on, son. He's put his t-shirt back on.
The Cardiff shirt's not back on, but the t-shirt is. That's funny. He's putting his other shirt back on now. And he's getting them all going the same way that Danny Rail does after a win. Now it's played through by the Owls. Here's Windass. It's been a fun night. I don't think the Cardiff fans are going to be that gutted about this. As it's moved over towards the left, cross comes in, chance for a fourth, cut out nicely by Cardiff as that one was played into the box towards Fletcher, who would have been desperate for that one to work through to him.
Here we go.
It's a good ball through. Now here's a chance for Cardiff. It's Colwill. He's been forced wide. That's really good defending from Famewo, who forced him wide initially, stayed with his man, gets the block tackle in behind for a corner mark.
Yeah, good defending, great defending to be fair, but that's your breaking again. Good on the counter. Colwill's actually running in there. He's not the quickest, so I think, obviously if you've got somebody, but they're looking at their team and don't really have a lot of pace in it to get away from people, but don't take it away from the defending. The defending's really good there.
Corner taken short again by Cardiff. Colwill back over to that right hand side. Sawyers. Colwill has miscontrolled this one, but Wednesday then give it away, and it was Wilkes whose pass was intercepted. Colwill over towards Robinson, who's now getting booed by the someone must have had a look on the phone and thought, I'm sure he played for United. It's taken till this point in the second game against Cardiff in a few weeks for them to start booing him. And played backwards here by Joel Colwill, and now Ruben Colwill will get it on the right hand side, gets across and it's blocked by Wednesday, out of play for a throw. Other scores in the Cup: Wimbledon 1, Ipswich 3, Sunderland 0, Newcastle 3, Blackburn 5, Cambridge 2. Going to see a change now with Josh Windass coming off and Michael Smith coming on. Josh Windass, who got the opening goal, fine goal it was as well, and it was his cross for the second, which was headed in by Hekwa. Gillingham 0, Sheffield United 4, Hull 1, Birmingham 1, Norwich 1, Bristol Rovers 1. I bet Norwich are absolutely loving the fact that they've got to go to Bristol for a midweek replay.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a long
That'll
trip.
be a trek.
Plymouth 3, Sutton 1, QPR 2, Bournemouth 3. Southampton 4, Walsall 0, Stoke 2, Brighton 4, Watford 2, Chesterfield 1, and Newport 1, non-league Eastleigh 1. Replay there. Fourth round draw Monday at around 7:50. You always have to say around 7:50 because the draws go on forever these days. We've got to talk to a couple of pundits, and we'll have some fans, and there'll be a package and all sorts, and then finally the draw. You never know what you're going to get. Could be top Premier League club here for Sheffield Wednesday. That was what Newcastle a year ago. That was a great occasion. Alex Miller in the Star was saying when that's the third best moment of a season, you know you've had a good year. And for Wednesday it was obviously Wembley and Peterborough at the top, and the Newcastle Cup upset, League One knocking out a Premier League team, was only third on the list. But that was a great occasion here, and would be interesting to see one of the big Premier League teams back at Hillsborough again. And it's been so long since Wednesday have been in the Premier League now, over 20 years. Such a long time since Man United have come here or somebody like that.
It's a long time. I mean, to be fair, 20 years is too long. Should have been back, or trying to get back in, rather than dropping back down to Division 1 and stuff like that. Fans deserve a little bit better than what they've got.
And of course there's also the prospect of maybe that Steel City derby, or it could be Southampton away or Plymouth away.
Probably Newport away. They probably asked me to do that as well.
Well, I've never been to Newport. That's one of, I think, 5 grounds I've not been to in the 92. So
right.
That'd be okay. I'd be happy with that. Smith chasing here to press. Ball teed off by Sawyers. Well intercepted there by Shipston. It's done ever so well there. Smith into Fletcher. Shipston's pass asked a bit too much of the Wednesday players on that left hand side, and it goes out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, he was a little bit too eager on that one.
We'll see another change, and Kieran Evans is coming on for Ruben Colwell. It's had a great game, I think. In a losing effort.
Yeah, he's done all right, him.
Unorthodox, isn't he? He's big and he's got a frame and he gets about.
Yeah.
Looks a bit more like a rugby player, doesn't he, with that
he's not
build and the socks around the ankles.
He's not quick, but he's decent. He's decent when he's running with the ball, and he's quite creative and stuff like that. Yeah, he's done all right, him. Done okay.
Ball kicked forward, and it's going to go out of play for a throw off a Wednesday man deep inside the Wednesday half. 14 minutes to go, and it does feel ever so much like this is a going through the motions end to a cracking game, which has entertained, especially in the first half. Player goes down on the far side. Trying to work out what the fans are singing at each other now. Baldy's got another sit down. His night's done. I think he might have actually headed home.
Right, God, just heard that one. I think I've worked that one out.
I was trying to work it out, but I was going to say that I think the friendly nature of the...
You know what you are, something like that.
Okay. Ball played through, kicked away. I'm guessing the know what you are wasn't a great group of champs.
You know what you are. I'll leave that up to... I'll leave the other bits for you to work out.
Yeah, I think I've managed it. As Robinson plays a 1-2, edge of the area. Robinson will slip it through. It's good football. Here's a big chance. It's hit wide.
There's another one. Again.
Kian Ashford, it was cut open, that defence for Wednesday, and Ashford's missed when he should have scored.
I'm fed up with saying the same thing. As I say, it's been a strange game. You look at it and you think, yeah, good, it's a great result. But then when you analyse it, you probably be thinking, whoa, I think we're riding his luck a little bit. And again, against probably a better finishing team, let's put it that way, there'd have been more goals than 3-0. Who knows, it might have been 4-4.
I don't know whether you pay much attention to this, but the expected goals statistic, which Danny Rail does mention a fair bit, I wonder what the XG would be for this game. I think Cardiff's expected goals, given they've had 2 penalties, is probably something like 5.
Yeah.
And Wednesday's may well be, because 2 of the Wednesday's goals were really good shots. It might be under one.
Yeah.
It's not. It wouldn't be unbelievable. The Gassama one was obviously a good chance. As the ball is moved over towards Bowler and in towards into a decent position here for Ashford again. Now here's Sawyers. Back over towards that right hand side for Bowler. Sawyers just nudged into midfield for Perry and G. Now here is one of the other substitutes, Kieran Evans, touched off by Tanner. Cross comes in, Chester behind by Wednesday. Reece James for a corner over on that right hand side. So Cardiff not giving up the fight just yet. I mean, it has been such a crazy game, or at least the first half was, that you wouldn't totally rule out a couple of goals here for Cardiff, making life interesting.
Well, they did it a few weeks ago, didn't they? Scored 2 in the last 5 minutes, something like that.
Let's see if they
to
get
turn
one
a
here.
defeat into a victory.
Get one here, it might just be a little bit nervy at the end. Crossed in, it's ricocheting around, it's bouncing around, there's a goalmouth scramble, it's still not fully cleared by Wednesday. Eventually Palmer kicks it up into the air, and then it was the number 38, I think, Perry and G, who came running in, leapt up into the air. Here's his big moment to head it in for 3-1, and he heads it over the bar. We're going to see Guy Shakira come on in a minute. Wearing number 25, another youngster. One or two Wednesday players not looking too sharp here. Hekwa's gone down. That's not a good sight, because Wednesday are not flush with numbers at the back. Iorfa out injured. Diaby's been obviously suspended. Famewo back in today. But with Iorfa out, there's not really that many numbers there, Mark Smith, and they don't want to lose Hekwa, and they'll hope this is nothing too serious.
I mean, as I say, you're talking 10 minutes, so if you were any kind of doubt whatsoever, I think you just take him off and swap him. I'm still looking on the bench for Sheffield Wednesday and see what they've got. Who could probably go in there? I don't know.
Nobody.
Stick Marvin Johnson back on at left back, and then move Danny into the middle, or you can put Liam Palmer, probably go and play in the centre back for the last 10 minutes, that kind of thing. But it's not looking good, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of action on the side of the pitch.
Well, he is being asked.
He's walking okay to a certain extent.
He is coming off though, and it is going to be Shakira coming on. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Shakira.
I was going to say. He's got the same kind of moves as Shakira. And Shakira is more than welcome at Hillsborough any time she wants to see a game. She could do a bit of singing at half time. So Hekwa comes off, round of applause, in a game that could easily have been 5-3 to Cardiff. And it's 3-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Or 5-4.
Yeah, strange game.
But Danny Röhl said he wanted to keep the momentum ticking along, and that is what he is going to get.
I think he's intelligent enough to say, listen, okay, it's 3-0. It wasn't a 3-0 game, but we take that. How many times have we been in games and probably come away not getting what we deserve? That'll have happened a few times, and it'll happen a few more times before this season's out. So we'll take that. We'll take it as another win. So again, if we've won 3 or 4 games on the bounce, that's great. That's great for confidence, and that's obviously going to take us into our next league game, which is obviously is the thing what we're trying to do, and claw back them 3 points and stuff like that. So I think you take that. I think you take it and just say, listen, mark it down. So listen, we're into the next round, and let's see the excitement on Monday as regards we might get this or we might get the other, and take things from there.
Financially getting through, of course, can also be helpful, and Wednesday in a transfer window.
Yeah.
And you do wonder, what financial position are Wednesday in? It's only a few weeks ago the chairman was asking for fans to help pay a tax bill, and then he paid it anyway. So you do wonder, have Wednesday got the money to go and make signings in January? Tyreek Backinson went to Charlton on loan to the end of the season yesterday. The ball's played through. Here's another chance for Cardiff, who split through the defence. And it is the number 25, Kieran Evans. He tees it off to Bowler, and he's shot, and it's almost gone through Cam Dawson's hands. And just as he turned around with horror to think, I've spilled one into my own net, the turf came to his rescue. And
we're seeing everything now.
Stayed in, and
they'll give it away again.
They've given it away, and Bowler will come back to that in a second as Bowler crosses this one in, and Robinson tried to shoot. It's an air shot, and Wednesday clear. And now here's Malik Wilkes, who can run over halfway. It will add insult to injury if they now go 4-0 down Cardiff. Wilkes still going, gets past one. It's probably taken it a bit too far in the end. Then the back pass to the goalkeeper was dangerous, as was the pass from the keeper to the defender. But eventually Cardiff get away with it, and they will be sat, our Welsh colleagues from the Welsh language service at BBC local radio will be sat there, and they will be saying in Welsh, Mark, how on earth have Cardiff not scored in this game?
Exactly. I
don't know what the Welsh is for that.
I might look up that phrase if there's any way I can have a little look and think, right, okay, let's see what how's that looking in Welsh, because they must be scratching their heads like and going, I don't know. I think you just put it down to one of them games and listen, we're never going to score.
Yep. And they've done everything but score today. 3-0.
That does my head in, like, Rob. As regards the lad's got a straightforward pass, but he wants to roll up his foot over the ball first and then try the pass.
Here's Sawyers. He's played it through the middle here when the better option was out wide, but it's a good bit of play from Ashford to get it over towards the right, then chip back over towards Tanner. Tanner takes on his man. He had a shot and it wasn't too far away. It goes over the bar, but it wasn't that far away. And we're going to see another change, and we're going to see Cameron Antwi coming on for Cardiff. Cameron Antwi wearing number 48. We will not be seeing, it looks like,
I'm going to say Malachi Fagan Walcott, who must be thinking, what have I got to do to get on this pitch?
And we will not also be seeing, it seems, Louis Philip Giles wearing number 49. A couple of names there, aren't there? Malachi Fagan Walcott and Louis Philip Giles.
Yeah.
Makes you feel a bit, I don't know, like inadequate with just a normal Rob Stainton, you know.
How about me with Smith?
Mark Smith, yeah. My wife's name was Smith.
Hey up. I'll tell you what.
Ball's gone out of play. Paul Valentin will take it. Kick backwards. All the way to Cam Dawson, who will have been very relieved that a great day was not going to be spoilt by one spilling through his hands and into the goal.
It went straight at him, didn't it, as well?
Yeah. Here is Shipston. Now Wilkes, Shipston plays it forward looking for Paul Valentin, and maybe Paul Valentin's jet engine has just run out of fuel a little bit here. He's put in another shift today. And that was
he's another one that's just got back in the side, hasn't he, after a long layoff, couldn't get in the team for whatever reason. So again, you know, some of these are just running on empty at the moment. But again, you know, a 3-0 result, fantastic. 3 minutes. Build on that and keep going.
Well, what we're going to have after is no praise or grumble tonight. We will be taking your calls on Monday between 6 and 7 o'clock in football heaven, so give us a bell, 0800 111 49 49. We'll reflect on this and everything else. But what we are going to have, Wednesday fans, if you want to stick with us, we recently recorded an episode of the Owls Heaven podcast with Martin Ware from Heaven 17, talking about his life as a Wednesday fan. So we're going to play a bit of that for you on the full-time whistle. So go and have a chat with Danny Real down pitch side. If we can get that to you before we go off air, we'll do our best. But if not, if you can find that online via Owls Heaven, or just follow us on X at Football Heaven. We post all of the links and the videos and everything on there. Here is Palmer. Palmer will switch this one over towards Smith. Smith, edge of the area, has taken it forwards and took it a bit too far. Then he tried to pass it to Wilkes. Pass was overhit and inaccurate. Cardiff have it again. Nice little turn here from Joe Colwill. Moved over towards that right-hand side. We'll be really interested to see what the Cardiff boss says about this game.
As I said, for me, I mean, they've been quite pleasing on the eye to watch. Apart from getting up to that final third, as we said before.
I always wonder, are you pleased with the performance? Are you, as a manager, do you think, it's one of those days? Or do you actually think, my word, could have had a hatful tonight. Finishing's been dreadful. And that is the most important bit of the game, I guess, isn't it? It's that finishing your chances. And
yeah, it's what happens in both boxes, Rob, for me. Obviously, you want to keep it out your own goal, and you want to put it in the opposition's goal. So again, at the end of the day, that's what's happened today. You've put 3 in the opposition's goal, which is great, and then you might hopefully coming out with a clean sheet. And again, what goes on in between doesn't really count for anything, does it?
It doesn't. The bald gentleman is having one last hurrah with his captive audience over there.
Took his shirt off again. Wow.
Shirt is off again, and he was leading a chant from the Wednesday fans, and I think they appreciated it. I think he will go down as a good sport today. This one goes back to Palmer. Smith plays this one back to Palmer now. Shipston, Palmer. 5 seconds of normal time to go. Danny Röhl having a quick chat with the 4th official. 4 minutes of stoppage time. They could have put one up, frankly. I think everybody's had their fill. As this one's chipped forward and then flips over the top, and maybe not. Here's Malik Wilkes through on goal. One defender and a keeper to beat, and he has done. Wednesday through to the 4th round with a 4th goal. Malik Wilkes off the bench at half-time, and he runs over to celebrate, I think, with Jeddy Gassama on the touchline. Well, Cardiff had a hatful of chances and not taken any. Wednesday have taken pretty much all of theirs, and Malik Wilkes' goal fires them into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Sheffield Wednesday 4, Cardiff 0.
Listen, again, that's what it's all about, is scoring goals and stopping balls going in your own goal, and that was it. Again, is it deserved? I'm not quite sure on the balance of play. But again, you can't argue with the fact that that's 4-0, and that's a resounding result. 4-0. People go away thinking 4-0, that'll do for us, off the back of a great result last week. Fantastic. Again, all I can think is this is going to go on. You take this momentum, what you're building, and you're going to take it into the rest of the season, and hopefully get a few more results like this.
So Sheffield United went through earlier with a 4-0 win to the 4th round. Sheffield Wednesday through to the 4th round with a 4-0 win. It's made. It's in the stars, Mark.
Exactly.
Steel
Could
City
be. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Round. Play it on the 4th of Feb. I don't know. Just everything to do with the 4s. Free kick here for a foul on Cameron Antwi. We've got another 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. So Windass with a goal very early on, a couple of Cam Dawson saves in the first 6 minutes from penalties, and then a Hekwer and brilliant goal from Liam Palmer made it 3-0 at the break. And then late on here in stoppage time, Malik Wilkes getting the 4th. All smiles at Hillsborough. Wednesday fans in that north stand have decided to belt out one last chorus here. Not sure we'll have the going round all 4 stands celebrations of Danny Röhl's been having recently, because one of the stands is shut tonight, the Cobb. But certainly he'll be pleased that momentum has been continued. But that's a test next week, isn't it, Southampton? Mark, that's a really interesting game next Wednesday, and a tough one.
Well, that's obviously you're going to be in a better state going into it off the back of some really encouraging results and performances. And I tell you what, as I say, if you were going to Southampton and it was probably 2-3 months ago, you'd be going there thinking, wow, hopefully we'll just try and keep the score down. but now I think you can go there with some confidence as regards, we can get a result here. And again, if you do, the confidence, I think you'll just go through the roof.
If they beat Southampton next week, you do wonder, Wednesday fans will be on cloud 9, and some of the worries that they had a few weeks ago, as the cross comes in here for Cardiff, where they were probably already plotting their trips where they're going to have to go next year, Exeter again, places like that. But if they can beat Southampton next week and maybe even get out the bottom 3, because the goal difference is good compared to Huddersfield, it's close.
Yeah.
Well,
and the problem, obviously, the kind of pressure you'll put the likes of Huddersfield and people like, the clubs like QPR and stuff like that, just in free fall. They'd be thinking, wow, Wednesday picking results up like now. So we actually think we're going to put a bit more.
It's all over here at Hillsborough. It's been one of the strangest games I've seen in a long time. But Wednesday through, first half that was as dramatic as they come, with 2 Cam Dawson penalty saves, great goals from Josh Windass and Liam Palmer, a header from Ihekwe. And then in the second half, Cardiff, well, they had a bunch of chances, didn't take any of them. And then right at the end, Malik Wilkes gets the 4th, Mark Smith. And Wednesday are through to that 4th round draw Monday night.
Yeah, great result. And as I say, looking forward to the draw on Monday now. I think they'll be hoping that you can get a like one of the big boys, which they all think like that, and hopefully it'll come off. But the manner and obviously the confidence I think they're going to gain because of the last probably month, or certainly probably last 3 or 4 results. Again, I'm thinking there's a massive shift in like confidence, and now I think that they're looking at it, and Sheffield Wednesday, the football club, the players will certainly be looking and thinking, we can get out of this. They haven't been cut adrift. They're right back into the mix like now. The pressure they're going to put in the likes of Huddersfield on, who are in that 5th place, 4th place from the bottom. The pressure that you're going to be putting on them now, because they're looking and thinking, Sheffield Wednesday's won again. They've thumped like Cardiff now 4-0. Doesn't matter how they've done it, because they don't know about that. All they see is the result, and again, all they see the league table, and everybody's catching you up and that kind of thing. So, as I say, it's been a good end to the and a good end to last year, and then obviously a really good start to this year as well.
Well, Wednesday players go off. I can't help but feel they might be kicking themselves that they're not already out the bottom 3, because that game against Cardiff before Christmas, it was total opposite to this one, really. Wednesday controlled it, had all the chances, didn't take them, blew it at the end and ended up losing the game 2-1. Should have won that match. That would have put them on level points with Huddersfield. They'd be above them on goal difference right now, but can't cry over that anymore, because they have got to move forwards now, and they have got 2 wins in the league and now are winning the cup, 3 straight wins. And they will head to Southampton next week as the Wednesday players head down the tunnel. And now Danny Röhl is asking for the staff to come forward here. What's he doing here, Mark? He's trying to get all his staff together.
I don't know. It looks like he's going to.
He wants them all to
have like into the middle of the pitch, and they're going to bow. And
is he going to take a bow?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he wants to do it on his own anymore, because he was on his own when he was celebrating with the fans.
They're looking for somebody else.
They're trying to get somebody out here, but they're going over to the North Stand to go and greet those Wednesday fans. And
Stevie's up there, Steve Ellis, taking photos.
Well, Chris Powell is high stepping his way. What do you call that? A heel click as he goes over. But the fans greeting the staff, and they have had a real impact, and Danny Röhl wanted them to come over together as a group to applaud those supporters as they chant his name. But they're all in a line now, and here we go, the customary celebration at Hillsborough after a win these days. And even on a cup night, when a couple of the stands aren't open, we are seeing the celebration take place. And there is a real connection between manager and fans, isn't there?
Yeah, and there wasn't that obviously at the beginning of the season. And I think obviously it's a great position to be coming from, where you've won 2 or 3 games on the bounce and everything's turned round, and that kind of thing. Even though you look at it and you think, well, there's only 2 sides of the ground actually which has been open as regards getting your fans in. But again, as I say, you can do this, and as I say, but again for me it's like, well, listen, it's a great start, but again, what you got to try and do now is build on it.
And he does it for this side as well, for the South Stand supporters. And it is important to connect, Mark, and this is something
certainly
that, some managers love to do it, and sometimes maybe even they indulge a bit too much in it sometimes, but others will, they want to keep it at arm's length. They don't want to be seen too much in the public eye. But Danny Röhl has really bought into engaging with these fans and having a relationship with them, and it is generating a positivity around this place that was so sorely lacking before his arrival. And he's getting people to believe again, and I just wonder if this is a team, if they can really build behind this manager, Mark, if they could stay up this year, it could finally start to move forward, Sheffield Wednesday as a football club under his leadership. Yeah,
certainly as a manager and a coach, I think the players look like they like playing for him, they like what he's all about, that kind of thing. At the end of the day, it will come down to finances, and simple like that. I mean, again, the main thing for this season is to stay up. And then obviously from that position you hopefully will be starting to build to stay in the league, and then hopefully then eventually to be trying to get out of the league and get into the Premier League, where as a football club you should have been there years ago, or been close a few times, but it hasn't worked out like that. Now again, you've got to start somewhere, so it looks like to me as the manager Danny and his staff, they're actually now starting to believe and starting to push forward, and as you said before, it's this connection with the fans. The fans will love this. The fans will love it, and again I think you're looking just to try and build on the next bit.
We're actually having a group photo at the minute. Steve Ellis taking a group photo of the coaches. And I'm wondering why this is all in aid of, really.
Well, it's going on a little bit too much like now, because at the end of the day you're still third from bottom.
I wonder if someone's leaving maybe, or something.
I'm thinking somebody's retiring or something like that.
Because there's been group photos and everything there, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, Danny Röhl signing a few autographs before heading back down the tunnel. And everybody happy here at Hillsborough. Mark, it's been a pleasure to have your company. Obviously you're a lucky charm for Sheffield Wednesday these days.
Cheers, Rob. I've really enjoyed it, mate. So look forward to the next one. So at least we're not going to Newport anyway.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, we might do. You never know.
It may well be Newport. The draw on Monday at 7:50 to find out who Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United have got in that 4th round draw. So the Blades through 4-0 against Gillingham earlier. Sheffield Wednesday through 4-0 against Cardiff City here. Thanks for your company on BBC Radio Sheffield. What we're going to do now is we're going to take you to an episode of Owl's Heaven that was recorded over Christmas. We were joined, myself and Joe Cran from the Sheffield Star, by Martin Ware from Heaven 17. Enjoy.